Hello everyone, and welcome to the Cogito 20,000 subscriber Q&A extravaganza. Well, that's what we'll call it. It has been over a month since we actually passed 20,000 subscribers, and I am still completely blown away. It is insane. I am just kind of shocked that over 20,000 people at this point have decided that they want to have my videos pop up in their face every now and then. I would genuinely like to thank everyone that has subscribed so far. It has been amazing to see the channel grow like this, and to get feedback from all of you, all your suggestions, and all the nice things that you say. It genuinely means a lot. I can't wait to continue to make videos that I hope you enjoy. In order to celebrate this really cool milestone, I've decided to answer the questions that you have so kindly asked me on Twitter and YouTube. But before we start on our incredible question answering journey, there is a quick announcement, which is that the channel is moving from being completely dead to a 2 video a month schedule. So every 2 weeks you're going to get a video on this channel. By the looks of it, I'm aiming for Fridays. It's still up in the air as I kind of figure out which days kind of work best. Okay, so let's get started. Just a quick word of warning. I never do videos unscripted, so apologies just in general. Just apologies for what's about to happen. The first question comes from Stefan Milo, who is a great YouTuber that you should definitely go check out. And he asks the very appropriate question of shag, marry, kill. King George I, King George II, or King George III? And he says that yes, there is a right answer, and clearly there is. King George III clearly fits in the shag category. He's a dreamboat. I'm living for him. He's gorgeous. He's also completely insane, so that kind of helps. I'm just saying, look at this portrait. Would you not dump your tea in his harbour? When it comes to marrying, King George I clearly takes that. He's inspiring. His hair game is on point. He's got a very Brian May look going on. I strive for that kind of volume, and I feel like if we were married, he could help me achieve that. Plus, he became King of England without speaking English. I like that kind of ambition in a partner. When it comes to killing, King George II, because just what did he even do? The next question comes from M. Laser, who, just like Stefan, runs an incredible channel you should definitely go and subscribe to, along with an amazing podcast that I have been on. Links are in the description. He says, if you only had to choose one place in the world to spend the rest of your life, where would it be? This question for me is kind of especially hard because technically I don't really live anywhere. I bounce a lot between Ireland and Uruguay at different points of the year to visit family. I spent the last few months living in the Czech Republic, and before that I was somewhere else and somewhere else. Finding somewhere to live permanently and only living in that one location is kind of difficult. But based on my life circumstances, which is the fact that I need to visit 2 separate continents at least once a year, and the fact that I don't need a visa to stay in Europe, logically, somewhere like Spain or Portugal would be perfect for me because I can get cheaper flights to both the places I need to be within the year. And they're super warm, which I like. And they have coastlines, which I like. And the fact that those countries are kind of obsessed with eating bread with every meal kind of resonates with me a lot. I'm not really sure. I haven't been all around the world. I want to go to all of the continents and all of the countries to figure out which one I want to live in. So there's my non-answer. Mr. Beat, who again is a great YouTuber who you should go and subscribe to, says, if you didn't have to worry about demonetization, which topic would you more regularly tackle on your channel? This is actually a great question because demonetization, especially for educational YouTubers, is kind of a huge issue. It really limits the topics that we can educate people about. And for me at least, and I think for a lot of the other educational YouTubers, it isn't actually about the monetization aspect. It isn't about whether or not you're earning money from the video. Because a lot of us don't have enormous channels, and so we don't actually earn a huge amount of AdSense. I know I don't earn a huge amount of AdSense, so I don't really care when a video gets demonetized. The main issue though is the fact that if a video is demonetized, it does objectively seem to get less views than a monetized video. YouTube doesn't promote it nearly as much, which is harmful when people want to make educational videos about topics that are kind of considered icky by advertisers. Personally, there are a bunch of topics that I want to cover, and I still will cover. I would like to make videos on the histories of cocaine, the history of heroin, see how those kind of trade networks got set up. Why is it that these things are enormous? But I know words like cocaine and heroin probably aren't going to do well with advertisers. I also want to make a video on the history of swearing, where swear words come from. And I know for a fact that just having subtitles with swear words in them is going to get the video flagged and probably demonetized. I'd like to make more videos about negative aspects of war, and I know for a fact that having war or violence or death in the tags or in the subtitles is going to get that video demonetized, so I'm going to make them anyway. But I wish they would be able to reach a wider audience, regardless of whether or not it makes YouTube money. Aditya Gupta asks, how do you deal with having a few viral videos and then less algorithm successful, but in my opinion better ones? Does losing sleep at night constantly thinking about it count as dealing with it? Which isn't specifically true. I don't actually really deal with this at all because those videos at the start of the channel were designed to be algorithmically successful. Videos like the China and India population video and videos like the Russia video were 100% intentionally designed to be algorithmically successful. Before I launched the channel, I had been watching a bunch of videos on how the algorithm worked, how tags worked, how search worked, how rankings worked, how everything on YouTube and the algorithm worked. And I designed those videos to be successful in those parameters. That's why they have countries in the title, where the titles are a question, where the thumbnails are very kind of in your facey. You can see the text, they're very colorful. They have faces in them, even if they're Cogito faces. Those things do better. The thing is, the reason I stopped kind of making those videos and started making the videos I make now, which are kind of more niche and more kind of in line with what I actually enjoy, is because making those very algorithmically successful videos wasn't really what I wanted to do. I didn't feel like it was super sustainable because I spent more time trying to figure out what was going to do better in the algorithm than I did figuring out what would be a good video. Now my focus has kind of changed from being more successful in the algorithm to being a good and interesting video creator. The next question is from Professor Slothingtons, who says, "Congratulations, I hope your channel keeps growing. You deserve a lot more subscribers," which thank you very much. And their question is, how do you make your videos? What are your future plans for the channel now that you're going to be making more content? So, how do I make my videos? I'll break it down. Making YouTube videos is extremely accessible. Literally anyone can do it. When I first started the channel, what I did was I made all of the artwork in Inkscape, which is a free program. Anyone can download it. It's vector-based. It's amazing. I loved it. And then using that artwork, I just created slides in Google Slides. And those slides were essentially the scenes for the video. So the China Indie video, the Buddhism video, they're all made in Google Slides. I would screen record me going through that Google Slides slideshow really quickly and then kind of sync it with my voice. I forget the name of the program, but it was the only video editing program that I had available on Linux, which I was using at the time. So all those programs are free. They're all kind of easily accessible. Anyone can use them. They're great. Now that the channel has evolved though, the tools have also evolved. So now I use the Adobe Creative Suite, which is a subscription-based thing, so it's not free, but in my opinion, it's infinitely worth it. You get access to all the Adobe programs, and so anyone with access to this can make professional level videos. Now I'll show you the current pipeline for video creation. So first of all, what I'll do is decide on the topic, and then I will go on Wikipedia. I will read about whatever the topic is to try and get a kind of a general overview, and then at the bottom of Wikipedia where it has all the sources, I'll figure out which sources I can find easily, either free online or books I can purchase. Then once I have all my sources, I'll read the sources, I'll make notes, and then I'll import all of those notes into a Google Doc. I'll kind of go through all the notes, cut out what I think is important, what isn't important, kind of get everything together into this kind of well-chiseled block of information. And then when I have that kind of block of information of all my notes, of all my research, of all my own kind of personal ideas, I'll begin to write a script, which can take a good amount of time until eventually I get a script. Once I have that script, open up Adobe Audition, record my voice, apply some effects to make me sound not like a Muppet. Once I've demuppetized my voice, I will go through the script, see what artwork needs to be drawn up, what Cogitos. I will draw them in Adobe Illustrator, draw maps in Photoshop. Once all that's done, I open up After Effects, I animate everything in After Effects, and then I bring all the animation into Premiere, put it all together, add the music, add the sound effects, add some color correction, and then put it on the internet for everyone to see. If you're interested in making videos, yeah, maybe get the Adobe Suite, look at some YouTube videos, and yeah, you can create whatever you want essentially. Going back to the question of what are your future plans for the channel now that you're going to be making more content? Honestly, the future plans right now are just to keep making better content. Mark Loy Rivero says, how did you start working with Kings and Generals for their animations on their videos? Which is a great question. For those who don't know, for a long time now, I've been making the Thursday videos over on the Kings and Generals channel. It was actually kind of easy because I didn't have to do anything. One day, the Kings and Generals team, they're great. They're like an incredible team. They run probably the most efficient, well-run, high-quality channel out there. It's behind the scenes there is insane. The setup is perfection. And they wanted to increase their output. At the time, they were making 1 video a week on Sundays, and they wanted to increase their output to 2 videos a week. They reached out to me. They asked if I would be interested in helping them do that, if I'd be interested in putting some of my content up on their channel. I would write the Pre-Columbian Civilizations series, animate that, from there, we kind of just kept making a video every single week, making more and more content, getting better at working together, and that was kind of it. It was kind of just a very easy transition from them asking kind of for a collaboration to kind of me working with them every single week as an animator. If you aren't subscribed to Kings and Generals by now, you definitely should. They put out some of the most high quality content. They have a great team of writers, of artists. They have a great narrator. The entire team is just great. You should also subscribe to their new channel, The Cold War, and to their podcast. Vault13 asks, what will happen / has happened to this series on Byzantium? So, the Byzantium series. I apologize for the Byzantium series. It has become a bit of a mess. I started it like, a long time ago, maybe a year or two, I'm not even sure. And my hopes was to have it finished within like a few months. My hopes was that like I would make kind of a video a week and kind of reuse all the same kind of graphics and art, and it would be very easy to make, and I already had a lot of research done before I started the series. Thought it would be a much more rapid process. It turned out not to be that. When I started the series, I also wanted it mostly, to share like the fact that like I love Byzantium. I think it's a super interesting historical topic. I think it connects with a lot of things I like. A lot of civilizations kind of converge and interact with Byzantium. I thought that was a good way to kind of show like all that was kind of happening in the old world at the time, and in that period kind of connected with Byzantium in some way. But the time I started the series was a very different time in my life. I had a lot more free time. I was living in Spain. People didn't want to hire a person in Spain that didn't speak Spanish, which I was very shocked to hear. And so that was my idea. I was like, I'll make this video a week until I can find something, and it would also help me improve by doing something frequently. Things kind of fell apart. My schedule changed quickly, quicker than I expected, and so I couldn't do as much research as I wanted, and I felt that it would take me maybe a year or two in order to finish the series, and I didn't want to do only Byzantium videos for a year or two, which looked like what was necessary to finish the series. So at the minute, the series is on hold until I can figure out the best way to structure it so that I can finish it without having to take a year or two of a Byzantium video every single week. So right now it's on hold. It is coming back. I just need to restructure it. Ricky Hunt says, are you worried about Article 13? And the answer is yes. I'm terrified, and I have no idea what to do about it. But I also think it's going to be fine. I hope it's going to be fine. I think it's going to be fine. It's going to be fine. It's fine. I'm fine. Mythology Guy says, did you go to university? And if you did, what did you major in? So I did go to university. Technically, I went to one very big university in Ireland. I stayed there for like 2 or 3 months. It wasn't for me. I didn't really enjoy it. I didn't want to have to stay in the same place for 4 years. It didn't suit what I wanted. When I was there though, I studied English, history, and law, and then I swapped to English, history, and philosophy because law is very difficult. A while after that, I studied digital media and journalism. This is kind of a combination of both of those things, but yeah, university just didn't really work for me. Epic Stimulus says, what is your favorite thing that occurred in history? And I kind of want to give like a fun answer to this. It was like one of my favorite things ever happened is the fact that one of the kings of the Netherlands had his life saved by a pug. Apparently the pug warned him that assassins were coming to kill him. I don't know how a pug can alert you to anything other than the fact that they're struggling to breathe. But apparently, yes, a pug saved the life of the king of the Netherlands. That is one of my favorite stories from history because it's so innocent. But if you ask me like my actual favorite thing that happened in history, it has to be the eradication of smallpox. Nothing kind of brings me more joy and kind of hope than the story of the eradication of smallpox. Humanity, for once, managed to do something objectively good, and no one lost anything. We looked at smallpox, we were like, that's bad, don't do that, let's kill smallpox. We all got together, we decided we're going to kill smallpox, and then like in the 70s, we actually wiped it out, which is, for us living now, it doesn't feel like a big deal, but if you look at the history of smallpox used to just wipe out entire civilizations, and now it's just gone. It's one of the like shining light stories of history, and I love that it happened. I'm so grateful that it happened. It overjoys me that managed to happen. M Laser asks, does something good ever happen past 2 AM? And the answer to that is most good things happen past 2 AM. Stefan Milo asks, what's your favorite game? Sports and computer games are not allowed. And a 100% clear winner on this is trivia. Anything that asks trivia-like questions, pub quizzes, Trivia Pursuit, anything like that, yes, please, I love it. I know you said no computer games, but there is an app called Trivia Crack, and me and Mrs. Cogito developed an intense rivalry on that game. I love it so much. Will Fox, another great YouTuber that you should go subscribe to, says, is there an ambitious video that you'd like to do one day but haven't yet because of time and resource limitations? What would it be? This idea I have has it's been in the back of my head for a long time, and it's mostly because I have this opinion that really, really good history documentaries should also, as a side, be really, really good travel documentaries. They should make you want to go to the place they're talking about. And there's this great documentary called The Story of India. Great overview of the history of India, and it makes you want to go to India. It kind of inspires in you this kind of wanderlust for India. And I like when any documentary does that. I like when any documentary makes me feel like I want to go to that place. And so the idea that I had is this. I would like to make a feature-length documentary that essentially tracks the migration of all humans out of Africa and across the globe, showing you how humans arrived in Asia, in Europe, in Polynesia and Australia. It would show people crossing over to the Americas, going down, how everyone discovered and settled in the areas they're in now. And it would have these kind of grand, long Lord of the Rings-esque shots of the landscape, of people, of the tools that were used, the way people survived and adapted to these new environments. And so it would kind of work as this documentary about history and how we got around the world, but also a nature documentary of the locations that humans arrived in, environment that we had to adapt to in every individual location. Obviously, I can't make that. Maybe in the future. I have a Patreon. Guru da Ciencia says, where do you see your channel in 1 year? Honestly, in 1 year, I'd be happy if the videos I make now are just better. I don't really have a subscriber amount that I want or really care about. I just want the videos currently made to be more enjoyable and to be of a higher quality and to have more information and entertainment value into them. Fable Reader says, what would the you back when you were 1 to 5,000 subscribers think of you now who has 20,000 subscribers? I don't know. Honestly, I think I'd be shocked. And Grant Hurst says, what are you obsessed with at the moment? At the moment, I'm obsessed with the TV show Queer Eye. It is by far the most wholesome thing I have watched in a long time. And if you just want to watch something that is kind of pure joy and pure happiness, just watch it. It's a great way to spend an hour. You just feel better. Other than that, right now I have sunk into a colonial history vibe. I'm reading every single thing and watching everything I can about the history of the Americas kind of after 1600 AD. I'm obsessed, especially the Caribbean area. I've fallen into this hole where I just keep reading more and more stuff about it, and I'm loving it. It's like one of those areas I didn't get to study in school, and there's not a lot of stuff about really in popular culture other than pirates, which are cool but aren't everything. And I'm just devouring everything I can find about it. So if you have anything interesting about that time period, about that location, send it to me, please. So that is my 20k Q&A extravaganza. Very unscripted, very rough. I hope you enjoyed it. I hope it was fun. I hope it was interesting to get to know me better. It's been great to see your questions about what you guys care about. And hopefully, we can do another one of these pretty soon. Thanks for watching. Have a nice day. Don't forget to check out all the great creators in the description as well.